All righty. Evening. Welcome to another exciting episode of Shave and a Haircut. You see, I'm not shaving anymore. It's gonna be a beard and a haircut from now on. You know, I'm trying to
Yeah,
show out my greatness. I'm your host, CEO Kenneth Trammell of Shave and a Haircut. This is my brother. Introduce yourself, my man.
yeah. This your CEO, Captain Lieutenant Sergeant, handcuffs and keys, doing it like we always do. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all those dads. Happy Father's Day, Mr. Big Stuff.
Right back at you, right back at you, Jake the Snake.
Yes,
Let's get it
yes,
done. Let's get it crunk.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I guess we're gonna be talking about dads, huh? I guess this is gonna be our topic. I guess fathers and what about them? How just define a father to me. Define it.
All right. So my definition of a father, if I could put a picture on that definition, I'd put my pops along with all my brothers. That would be my definition of a father because that's what I saw. It's coming up, and that's what I'm seeing now. We all doing what we're supposed to do, raising our kids right, being there for them. We see them doing something wrong. We know we correct them. Sometimes we have to correct them with a spanking, but at the same time, we know that spanking gonna go a long way. It's not to hurt them, it's to help them, and that's what we do. So, and besides that, kids need that. If you're not gonna spank your kid, if you're gonna let your kid grow up without getting a spanking, they are never gonna know the meaning of discipline. And they ain't gonna be able to discipline their kids as well. So it's gonna be a ongoing generation of kids that's gonna think they can do anything they want to do, but they need to learn.
Absolutely. So what we're saying is basically a father is very, very important in the rearing up of a child's life. I mean, so many things that we go through as older adults now, and if we can go back and look at our younger self and say, "Woo! If I were to listen back then, where would you be now?" And so we're trying to get our kids to realize and understand that everything they're doing, we've seen it. We've been there, we've done it, got the T-shirt. We've been exposed to it, we've seen it, and we're trying to put them on a path to success. And sometimes our youth do not want to listen to our fathers, which is us. Thus meaning they got to bump their head and bump it hard. But fathers are like the I'll call your support group, your financial aid, your advice person. When things are going on with your physical beings, that's the guy you go to and talk about something going on with your body. And so we're gonna encourage women on this podcast to let these fathers, even if everybody says you gotta have that child support, sometimes just let that man do the best he can with what he got. Okay. If it's a father out there that just out wilding and know he could take care of his child, I can see that. But if you got a father that's trying his best, he's not making no payments on time, and he's not, but he's trying to be there. Allow that to happen.
I agree 100.
The long run, I mean, you will see if you don't, how that young man will look at you as a mother by not letting him be exposed to his father, especially if his father's doing something awesome, especially if his father's trying, especially if his father's out there doing everything he can to be there. And sometimes most, especially that father like that drives those trucks all the time, all off the road, they going all the time, but they making money, making ends meet. Try to let that young man, even over the summertime, let him go on a ride with his father on the truck. Do some things that allow him to be exposed to something that his dad, especially is positive. Because if you don't, I don't know how it is down there where you at, but in Monroe, these youngsters really are in need of some type of guidance.
Right.
Because right now they're out there doing any and everything they want to do with no repercussions, no remorse, and it's scary out there. And it's and I'm gonna probably put 88% of it probably is fatherless homes. And like I said, I'm not here to tell a mom that you can't be the father, but you really can be a man. You can be a father to your child, but you can't be a man to your child, especially when he needs that tough love that you don't have. especially need to be, as we used to say, yoked up a little bit, t-shirt tightened up a little bit so you can get him straight.
Right.
And that's one of the worst feelings to have is your child to get out of hand and you want to give him to the father and you let him get out of hand. So now I'm just saying this is a all important experience. 28, so 27, how many years you got? You probably got close to what, 30?
Mm-hmm.
So you've seen it. You see what happens once that child gets into the system. You work in the jail system, so you see it. So you don't want the prison to raise your child.
Sure
You don't
don't.
want the streets to raise your child.
Mm.
The streets raise your child, then the prison gonna raise them next.
That's it.
And so, go ahead.
I'm finna say you done sat there and raised that child. I hear echo. You hear echo?
Uh-uh.
Let me turn mine down.
Let me turn some okay. All right, you hear anything now?
No, I don't hear nothing now. That's good.
Go ahead.
All right. So I was going to say you raise your child for 18 years, and then all of a sudden they get locked up. All that stuff you didn't talk to them is null and void now once they get inside that prison system, because they're so young, they're still able to be influenced, and that's what happened when they get inside the prison system. They get influenced, but they're not being influenced by somebody that's looking out for them. They've been influenced by somebody looking out for themselves. So don't waste your time. Do what you're supposed to do with your child. I know when it happened to me and me and my ex-wife went separate ways. It was hard on me. I had to find a place to stay, couldn't find a place to stay. So I had to do what I had to do. It's just like what you said before. Sometimes, as a father, I would say, sometimes you have to look after their needs before you look after your own. Because if you don't, they gonna see that. And they gonna do the same thing. They gonna look out for themselves before they look out for their kids. And so, they see what I'm doing. They know what I was going through while I was living there, how I was eating, how I was working I was working with 18-hour days, just so I could pay child support and then have some money for myself, And that's some of the things that you men out there are going to have to do in order to survive. You're going to have to work more than 8 hours. You're going to have to work more than 12 hours. But just remember this, that there's a rainbow at the end of all this. You start loving your job and you're going to realize you're going to stay there and you're going to retire. Then you're going to get a check for the rest of your life. And I'm a witness. My brother, he's a witness. I got my other brothers, they're a witness. All you got to do is just stick with it. Yeah, it's a loss in your financial gain. Yeah. Probably for 18 years if you just start. But at the same time, just hang with it. Don't get mad. Don't get upset. Do what you got to do to take care of your child. Believe me, you'll see that. And you'll reap the benefits when you see your child go on and say that you were the shining star of my life. That's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. And they say, thank you, Dad.
That's correct. I'm a firm believer that kids replicate what they see.
Mm-hmm.
So if mom's there by herself and there's no man around, and there's a struggle in life, sometimes that's a motivation for a kid to do right, and sometimes that's a hindrance.
Right.
Sometimes they kind of patch shoes up and get together and say, hey, look, I see what mom's going through, so I'm gonna try to make it better. But that lack of that father is more than just a financial loss.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it's way more than a financial loss. You can't even put a money value on a father.
Yep.
Father, F-A-T-E-R, not F-A-R-T-H-E-R.
Right.
Farther, that farther away. Not that one. F-A-T-E-R. The father.
Right.
And you can't put a price tag on having that type of person around. Especially when you got certain doing stuff you're dealing with, and even when you get your first girlfriend and relationship advice, school advice, college advice, And mom is there, but you got to have that man that, hey, son, if I was you, this is where I would go, and this is why I want you to go.
That's right.
When I went to college, this college wasn't for me because of, you got to have something to throw something off of. You got to, we're blessed that it's 5 of us left now, but it was 6 that our kids can call. They can pick up the phone and call one of their uncles and say, hey, look, this is what I talked to Dad, but I'm going to talk to you too and get some more advice. That's not nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Not nothing wrong with
that's right.
JJ calling me or Juan or Kinsley, anybody, Eric, anybody calling you and say, hey, I got a question. I talked to Dad, but I want to get your opinion too. And so, but that's the good thing about having a dad, a person that's going to be there from start to finish. That's a good thing about having a person that's going to be around all the time. Person that's going to give you the advice when you need the advice. When you're not there at all, that is really, really tough for a child. Especially man, not even say man, even females, even the daughters. Daughters need dads too. So they need somebody to look at when they're looking for a man.
Right.
So if they're looking at your father, how he's treating your mom all the time, then she's gonna replicate. She's gonna replicate what she sees. If she sees mom and dad getting along and dad taking care of everything, that's what she's gonna look for. She's gonna look for somebody just like her dad, or somebody close enough to be, hey, all right, you got the tendency to be like my dad. So this is what we got to do. So that's why I say it's important to have that father figure in the house, because it does more than just financial needs. It does more than just when you need stuff done around the house. It does more than that.
I agree.
It's just that value of a husband or a father to be there when time, even when most guys, when they have deaths in the family, they're more stronger than the woman. Most of them are. You need people for that like that too. You just never know when you're going to need this person.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that fathers understand that hey, even though you're not with the baby's mom, doesn't mean you can't take care of your child.
Yeah.
And moms and ladies out there, don't punish. Please don't punish these kids because you mad with the dad. I've seen that in my law enforcement days.
Yes, indeed.
And it doesn't help. It might make you feel good as a woman, but it hurts that child tremendously. Don't put any false rumors out on the man, neither, because eventually, when this young man or young woman get 18 years old and they have a conversation with their father and say, well, mama said you did this. Well, this not what happened. Mom's not, that's not right. That's not what happened. And now you a rift between you, your child, and the father. When you could have just said, hey, we broke up and I was mad with my, that's why I kept him from you. Don't make up nothing, right? Don't make up anything.
I agree.
I'm a firm believer that parents can co-parent. True? What you think?
And not be married. They can still co-parent.
And co-parent. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And can co-parent great.
Mm-hmm.
It just most of the time the young ladies get so upset. They don't see nothing else. You can't see him regardless. You can't see her regardless. And then so the mind frame of a man, after a while, they be like, forget it. But you still hurting, young man. I'm talking to the men now. When y'all say forget it, y'all are wrong too.
Mm-hmm.
You're wrong too. You go out there, get you an attorney, and get your visitation right. But if you sit up there and say, man, you know what? I give up too. No, Skip.
Well, I'm gonna play devil advocate for since you said that, boom. So, and this is what some young men say. Well, it's so easy, man. I ain't got to worry about nothing now. She gonna take care of the child. I give her a little money. That's fine. I ain't got to worry about nothing. But as soon as that young man pick up a basketball or a football, he MVP. All of a sudden, here come Pop. Hey, that's my boy.
Yeah.
That's my boy. No, it's too late now.
Right. Payment.
Yeah.
Your payment could be your face. Your visual face could be your payment to see that. I mean, it's
That's
just
right.
ridiculous how we easily give up. We do, man.
Mhm.
We do. We easily give up because we don't want to deal with the back talk, the not getting the child when you want to get the child, or setting a date to get the child and she changed your mind. You want to deal.
Mhm.
So it makes
You're
it
right.
easy, but you still hurting the child, like you said.
Can't forget that.
When they get up there and say with the first pick in the NFL draft, you know, you
That's my boy.
know what I'm saying?
We paid.
You up there, hoo we get that. No,
We
no,
paid.
no,
So they have it, brother.
no, and that's what I talk about. Every now. I think this past draft we saw. I don't know, was it a lot of? I don't think it was that many dads in that first round was up there. If I'm not mistaken, maybe what was it? Maybe 10, 15, maybe 10. But the majority of
Yeah.
the Caucasian they were there.
If I'm not mistaken, I thought every one of them was there.
Did you?
Yeah, because I looked at it. I looked at the draft. It was pretty good too. But here's the thing about that though. What about what's his name? Was his dad there?
Who?
You know what I'm talking about? The one that just got married. Who's his
Yeah.
dad? His dad was there, right?
He got out of he got Giselle.
Well, he got permission
Yeah.
from somebody to be there.
Yeah, he was there.
Okay. That's prime point.
Yeah.
Speaking of prime.
Yeah.
That's a prime point.
That's all day long.
Yeah, that's a prime point. That's what happens.
Yeah. And so now you miss out on all that, and then here you go. But we don't know the ends of the other. We don't know what happened though. That's what I'm saying. We don't know.
No. All we know is what we saw.
That's right. You can only assume for what you saw on the video.
That's right.
And so one of my guys said, "Yep, he was there." And so my point is, since we got a father on the phone right now, Mr. Ramon King, he's online with us.
All right.
My point is it vital for a parent to be, especially for a dad to have, especially if you got a boy, is it vital for a dad to be there 100% of the time, or does he have to be SOS father when needed?
SOS.
You help when the wife needed SOS when needed.
Oh, I thought you were talking about military. You know what that means, the military term.
We're not using that one.
All right.
I'll skip. We're not using that one.
All right.
We're talking about.
I've been doing good though. We've been on 18 minutes. I ain't said nothing.
I got my stuff ready for you, just in case.
Oh. My bad.
Yeah, But what I mean by that is a help, a person SOS needing help. Is it right. That's when women call the father. When they're at that.
And now let's say this here too. Now we're not telling the women not to call them when they need help.
I mean,
we're not telling them not to.
We need to call them before then.
Yes.
Because you don't wait till a child. But if I'm wrong, Mr. Ramon, tell me I'm wrong. You don't wait until their child gets out of hand.
Yes, there you go.
Call Mr. Ramon King and say, "Hey, Junior, then got 16 years old, and I need you to come get him." Now, being Ramon, it's like I know him, he's gonna come get him because that's a dad. He's gonna come get him. But if Ramon hadn't had any established relationship with his child, it's gonna be a tough sled to pull. Because now he coming up with an ambition, he coming up with a bad attitude because he don't know what he coming up for anyway. Where you been? Not knowing that this is hypothetical, not knowing that Ramon's ex been keeping away on purpose. Now all of a sudden she can't handle him. Now she won't give him to Ramon. We can't do that. The minute your child start acting out, and I want to say probably about second, third grade when they start acting a fool. If there's not a man around, You need to get that man, get him some. Hey, look here, this not gonna happen. We gotta live in the story right then and there.
Now you know some women were different with you on that when you say second or third grade about the making of food.
Yeah.
Now you know. So ladies, we're not talking about your point of view. We're talking about our point of view as men.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Mr. Ramon said I did both. They are equally important. You know, my oldest lived in Alexandria. Yep. That was the time I had to drive down, shake him up. For the most part of the conversation, fixed it every time. That's it.
Already.
That's it. You're right. But see, that's what I'm saying with him, his child lives in Alexandria, so he's been there constantly. And that's what I'm saying. So that's what I mean by a father not being father, but a father.
Right.
You know, he lived far away, but he came and he still was there.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to get our guys, our men to see during his Father's Day weekend, his Father's Day. You know, we only get one day, you know, they treat our day like, it's regular Monday. I'm just saying, ladies, moms, y'all day be filled with tons of gifts and
hey man. Hey man. Hey man. I went out there, I drove out there today, Bobo, and it was traffic like everybody was at work, man. But I went on Mother's Day and drove to the store. I could barely get to the store.
Barely get there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We can go to the restaurant right now. Ain't nobody in there.
Hey man, it felt like a Super Bowl day or something.
Wait on you, girl. Y'all not packed? No, we're not packed. This Father's Day, not Mother's Day.
Yeah, it's Father's Day on the Sunday.
And,
it's all good.
But it's all good though. So we consider ourselves the backbone.
Yeah.
We keep everything going, and we got we have to.
I agree.
We the ones they call when the car's not working. We the ones they call when they need a little change. We the ones they call when they need some advice. We the ones they call when they need gas put in the car because they done drove it all day and let you drive it. But I don't know about this one.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
Come on, Unc, don't do us like that. I'm sorry, Tawana. I'm just telling the truth. Let Tawana on there. Oh, come on, Unc, don't do us like that. Well, I'm just telling the truth.
Yep.
Now, I'm not talking about you, but I said it's women that are out there, and I'm not telling a story that gets upset when they're yep, but it's so true. That's right, they're out there, and as soon as you get mad, you want to hold a grudge against that guy. But when that kid gets out of hand, he's the first one that get called. So I'm just encouraging women just to look in your heart. And forget about what the relationship happened between y'all two. Forget about that.
Right.
But Mom said, "Boy, I feel like a gas attendant." That's right. You filling up that car, don't you? I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So just forget about all the other stuff, and just let that man be a father. Let him come in there and do what he needs to do. And then watch how your life becomes easier, how things work out better. I know the child support is a lot, and y'all you need it. And trust we was in that we didn't had that battle before. And now trust me now, I made sure I paid what I paid for child support and then some. So I wasn't that type of father. Just I couldn't see my kids. I could see mine, so I didn't have that issue. Didn't have that issue. But some like I said, some men use that lack of seeing their kids, and lack of taking care of them.
Yeah, they use the money.
Right.
They say that I'll give you a perfect example. Coming up, working back I started working at the prison in '97, making $1,287 a month. People laugh at that now. $1,287 a month. What I started making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was pretty good until we split our separate ways, and then 1,000 of that went towards child support. A lot of people don't. You got to pay the medical expense. And you shouldn't frown on doing it, but yeah, you do because I did too. I was madder than a mug. Beep, hit that. You gotta catch it. I was madder than a mug, man. I ain't playing. I sure was, but I didn't go. It's nothing I could do. So I just, did what I had to do. Hey, y'all, if y'all gonna do it like that, I told them just take it out of my check every month. That way I didn't even got to see it. And I did that for 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years, man. And I had to get out on my own and do what you got to do. It can be done. It really can be. And you still can see it. And it doesn't matter how close you were with them before you left. You can still be close with them after that relationship goes wrong. That still can happen, like you said before. You can still spend time with your child. You can still, just because you pay child support, y'all men, listen to this. Just because you pay child support don't mean that you can't take your son out to eat.
Well, that is okay. So what we saying is, men, just what he's saying is basically, if you pay $600 a month, that don't mean that's it. You need to go out there and be more with your child, because we all know that money goes to a lot of stuff, and that's like paying bills and buying stuff, and that's not how it's, that's how we use it as, okay, well, your mama, I gave your mama $600. No, Skip. They need a little bit more, because that
yeah.
And furthermore, that also teaches your child.
They see that.
Hey, that's right.
They see that.
Mom said I paid from the time my little boy was 3 months to the 18, which was 3 months ago. Never missed a payment. Never got behind. Still saw him faithfully and raised him the right way. Absolutely. And I can attest to that.
That's it.
He showed up physically and financially because it wasn't his fault or his problem. That's right.
That's it.
You said it in a nutshell.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened. I'm telling you, it's your duty.
Yeah, but then you're gonna have those kids now, boom, they're gonna say, well, I ain't got but like $200 left. Well, child, I'm talking to you, child. That child out there, wherever you're out there, I'm talking to you. Work overtime. Find another job. Work 2 jobs. How many jobs our brother got? And he ain't even on child support. How many jobs Robert got? 3? He worked 3 times, 3 sometimes 4 times a day. And he don't even pay child support. Yep. Stop being lazy. Forget the video games. Yep. Forget all that stuff they doing out there in the streets, and start taking care of yourself. You take care of yourself, you feel better about yourself. Yep. And that's what you need to do. Don't worry about that.
Oh, yeah. You have to.
Yeah, you got to, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, it's not. This is not what we call a badge man or a badge woman session. This is just a opinion from both of us that's got kids, that raise kids.
They gone.
And they all gone. They all grown. We had some that didn't listen, bumped their head. We had that listened, and they just blossomed like straight roses and rose bushes outside.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a matter of them being able to. They still, one thing about everybody that left out, they can still come back because they left right,
and they know that.
And see, and that's the good thing about it. And the only thing about it that we need to understand and establish that if that man is there constantly with holding anything that y'all had in the past, your child will blossom.
That's right.
Now, if you are a woman that has a significant other, which is a stepfather, that's even better. That's double for your trouble. You got a stepfather that's hammering him, and you got a dad that's hammering him. You got something going on. That doesn't mean just because the stepfather popped up, he don't need the dad.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. So
I'm with you on that.
We really got to hone it in, man. And I know we can do it.
Oh yeah.
I know that it can be done. Isn't that right, man? Tell him, say it can be done.
He said the only thing that can be done on me is get this hair out my eyes. Oh, handsome devil. That's Emmitt Smith right there.
Yeah, that's him, baby. That's your pop. Get it done, all right? Get it done.
That boy, you stupid boy.
And I'm telling you, man, we can do it. I'm hoping on this podcast that we can enlighten some folks. Like we're not in here to criticize no women, criticize no men. I just wanted to be a part where we have people coming in together and helping these kids, especially these young men. Y'all see what's going on out here, ladies and gentlemen. It's not rocket science. They out here, they popping caps, they shooting, they jumping on folks. And we just saw a family of a over there by Walmart where a boy stomped the boy here. This is stuff that's out there. This ain't nothing that's being made of like movies. We seeing this. Big large fight at Virgil Lane swim pool the other day. We're seeing this. Young ladies too. You're absolutely right. To one, they are wilding out, and so that's lack of not having that structured man in the house. I'm not like such one. I'm not saying y'all can't do it. I'm saying it helps out a whole lot.
Yeah. And for those single young ladies and men that are out there, if y'all need help. See, that's what we had, boom boom. I'm gonna put it out there. We had our uncles.
Right.
I remember Big Jacob. When I tell you, my uncle, God rest his soul, when I tell you he set me straight, all he had to do was look.
Yeah.
And I'm like your dog. My head go down. I know I done wrong. I know I shouldn't have done it.
Right.
And he's not gonna tell me softly. See, that's the difference between a woman and a man. Now, a woman will sometimes yell at a child, but that's when she had her last bit. But see, me as a male, I'm gonna get on them as soon as it happened, and I'm not even on my first bit. I'm already hyped up because me as a man, I'm showing aggression because I want my. See, if a child don't fear you growing up, they can't be your friend. You have to show them that you the alpha.
Right.
And they bravo. As they grow up, one day they gonna be the alpha. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be out of that situation. They're going to be on top. And that's how they learn. They learn from us. And if we don't teach them the right way when they're young, I'm telling you, for all those people out there that don't put their hand on their child, and I don't mean with a fist, I don't mean slap. I'm talking about discipline accordingly. Whether it's a belt, if you want to go get one of them, I don't even know if they make those trees. And I mean, not make them, but I don't know if those trees exist anymore out there. But those branches.
That's Creek Myrtle.
Creek Myrtle, baby. Yes, CMB, Creek Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, buddy. Creek Myrtle.
Yeah, them Creek Myrtle. If you, and I'm not talking about discipline because you want to. I ain't talking about discipline for doing something minute. I'm talking about discipline for doing something that, because you can talk to a child and they can understand. Right. But once they don't understand, if you don't discipline your child, and I don't care what anybody got to say, I raised my boys that way. They doing a good job right now. You know, like you said before, they make their mistakes and they've been down, but it's my job to get them back up. Right. So now, guess what? I don't have to put hands on them. I don't have to say nothing. All I got to do is listen and give them advice. Because as a father talking to a man, you're not talking to a child anymore. You're talking to a man. Because you can tell them whatever you want. And it's their choice whether they want to do it or listen or comprehend it or whatever it is. But at the same time, it's your job to get them that advice and show them the way. Absolutely. You can't push them down that street, but you can show them which way they need to go. And hopefully they go down that street and, become good men. And they children to see it too. And they become good men too. And it make you proud. I saw something that said a child realizes when the father's gone, that all he was trying to do was make that child better than what he was. And that's all we're trying to do. Absolutely. Is make our child better than us. Whether we were still good, we still want to make them better. Whether we was better than good, we still want to make them the greatest. That's what we do as males. And like I said, like you said before, this is not from a woman. Y'all women are doing an excellent job. Y'all women that are single and raising these kids, hey, kudos to you. You know what I'm saying? But once that child get a certain age, all you women out there, they get 16, 17. Yeah, you did a good job. But now it's time for you to get a brother or uncle. You ain't got to go find no man. Get your brother or get your uncle. Have them go over there and have a conversation with him. It helps, I promise you. And I'm not trying to tell nobody how to raise a child. Right. Period. Like you said before, all this is advice is from a male point of view. And we're not trying to tell nobody how to raise a child. But from what we done saw, me, you, everybody else that's on here growing up, it's the right way to go because a male needs a male for influence.
Right.
Period. Or advice.
That's right.
Hey, Boom, I wanted to ask you, I want to tell you something too. I want you to ask those that are on, do they have any questions?
Yeah, okay, we'll do. I'm putting some slides up right now. Looks like Happy Father's Day, guys. Come from Jacqueline Hawkins. That's your girl.
Hey, look at her. Hey, she pretty.
Yeah,
look at that
family. Nino Cutthroat Brown. I guess that's the other boy.
That's Javante and my man Javon.
Happy Father's Day. Tawana said, young ladies too. That's absolutely right. Hey, if you guys got any questions, man, anything y'all want to add and say anything, put it in the chat and I'll put it up on the screen, and we'll see what we can do with it. Because we don't want nobody to say we're not giving you an opportunity to speak.
I agree.
We don't want nobody to say I had a question and I didn't get a chance to answer.
Yes, and especially if you don't agree with what we're saying, we would love it.
This is a what we say kind of podcast. You can say what you can. Well, we don't use the words, but you can come out and say and ask any question you want to ask us. This is based off our opinion. This is based off what we've been through all our lives. This is based off of what lack of seeing a father in a household looks like, because you got experienced law enforcement officers on here that go to houses and talk to parents, and you can just about see the path of a child based off of a father not being there. Like I said, we're not saying mama's thing, but like I said, he just said, and even if it's just you and your child and you have nobody else, no uncles, find a church, somebody in church, find some men in the church.
That's right.
But you got to get them exposed to somebody of a male stature for them to understand what's going on and what way or what path they need to take.
Let me add something to that too, Boom Boom, because they're going to find it's best that you do it, because they're going to find somebody to talk to that's a male influence, and you want it to be somebody on a professional level that gives them that advice. You don't want it to be somebody from the hood. You don't want it to be one of their homeboys' dad who's out there drinking beer on the corner and doing drugs or doing something he ain't got no business to do. You want it to be somebody that's responsible, that's looking out for their kid's best interest. You want somebody that's looking out for that kid and their family as a whole. So make sure when you do that, find somebody responsible when you're looking out for that child, and you have that child talk to somebody. Matter of fact, you have him talk to Mr. Boom Boom right there. He out there in Monroe. He don't mind doing it all. Matter of fact, that's what he's been doing for the last 20-some years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Reaching out to kids. We got a question. This from my son. He says, how to be in a child's life living across the state line, working 60 or 70 hours a week. Phone calls and FaceTime.
Hey, he answered the question himself when he put that on there.
Yeah, man. And look, you look. All I can tell you, when we phone call, we can talk FaceTime.
Hey, nephew.
I hit that state Texas line. I always call you, and don't you come see me, and we hang out. So that's the only way we can do it, man.
Yeah, pimp.
And
show you right.
Stay focused.
You holler at your aunt too, right? FaceTime. You see us on here.
Yeah,
we didn't talk before. That's one of the things that Boom brought up before. I've talked to Eric before. Eric done talked to me before. That's the kind of thing that Boom talking about. When you talk to your dad and you want to get, I don't mind if Boom talk to Javante, which is my son. I don't mind my brother talking to Jacob, which is my son. I don't mind him talking to Javon, which is my son. I don't even mind him talking to Jackie, it's my dog. I don't mind none of that. I don't. I really don't. Because first of all, I know Boom was looking out for the interest. That's what I was saying before. You have to look out for that child's interest, and I know he's going to do that. So, Eric, 60 to 70 hours a week, brother, you're an influence for those young men out there. If you working 6 to 7 hours a week, you are well, I can't say that word, but you are an influence to men out there, brother. Keep that up, because if you work 6 to 7 hours a week, you ain't got time to get in no trouble. You're gonna be too tired. Yeah, go spend that hard-earned money, brother. Take you a vacation, come by here and see us. Now let me know when you coming back to Monroe, because I'll come see you myself. All you gotta do is let me know, brother. Love you.
Okay. All right. So Tawana says we need a lady's perspective too. So we need
all right.
Perspective that talks about it. Does a man needed, baby, in relationship with your kids? I got my wife. She's finna say something. Say something, baby. Say something. Here you go. The question was, Tawana wants to know. Tawana said, we need them ladies. We're talking about Father's Day and fathers if they need it in the household. So Tawana says we need a lady's perspective too. And she also said, I have a 20-year-old son. His father has never been in his life. He has turned out to be a upstanding young man. Yeah. So we do have strong moms that could do both, do it well. I am her. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, but see if you got on there earlier, niece.
Yeah,
we said,
that's what we said.
All women. We said we got some women that can do it, but you still, you can't tell me you still need a male perspective on something.
Yeah, but he has great uncles.
There you go.
He got strong uncles, and he knows the consequences, and he is held accountable. But yes, I think yes.
You think yes?
I met you with 4 children, and we are a great team, and I can't see me doing it without you. Now, not saying that I couldn't, but I didn't want to. So I'm gonna say it depends on the woman, because if she's a woman, she can do what she needs to do, and God gonna do the rest. It's many who have, but it's also many who done let the man come in and let the kids slip through the cracks. So I think it's just gonna weigh up on your upbringing, because my mom was strong and raised me a while by myself till she met my dad, and I turned out all right too. So I guess it can work both ways, but yes, Tawana is absolutely right in her aspect.
Yeah. Okay. So Tawana, I'm gonna have to get you on here at one time. Let you explain yourself too, because but like I said, we're not saying you can't do it. We're saying this generational kids that are out there now, and you can attest to that. My wife said so many odds against them that sometimes we really need that male perspective to try.
Well, let me sneak in here. Hey, Tawana, love you, niece. Tawana, if you listening, let me tell you something too, sweetheart. Your son has talked to me 3 or 4 times since I've been there. Every time I come to Mom's house and I see him, we have a talk. You can ask him this. So he is talking to male and getting advice from males. And you can ask him that, because he did talk to me a couple of times too. And that's what we're saying. We're not saying that you can't raise a child being a single mother. You did an excellent job, period. No hands down. I see what he's doing, and he's doing good. Ain't been in any trouble, none of that stuff. That's good. But what we're saying is, as a male, there's some things that a male could ask another male, but they won't ask their mom. Maybe they don't want to, they feel uncomfortable talking to their mom, and they'll talk to another man. Just like Tawana, you can say, I can say, no, hold on, Tawana, listen to this. Maybe if I say this, there's a lot of things that I did not tell my mom or my dad to this day. Can you say that, Boom Boom?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Tawana can say the same thing too. So guess what? Trail can say the same thing too. There's a lot of things that they did not tell their mom or their dad. Right. But what we want them to do is tell somebody, get some type of advice, you know? And that's what we here for. We're not saying that you can't raise a child by yourself. No. Mm-mm. My dad was there. And then all of a sudden, when it was just me and Boo Boo, who's on the screen, he wasn't there.
Right.
You know? And our mom did an excellent job. Look at both of us, Boo Boo.
Right.
She put both of us on the map.
Like you said, we had Big Jacob.
Mm-hmm. And she showed call, did she?
Yeah. It reeled us up right. And then back in the neighborhood days, the neighborhood kind of reeled us up as well.
Yes.
You know, and so, you know, that's the thing we're saying. We're not saying that the woman can't do it. I applaud every woman that did do it. I applaud every woman that's doing it to this day. But what I'm saying is, at this day and age where these kids, their depression is more than anything, and the way they behave is more than anything, and we really need it. Boom, boom. Where that name come from? Come on, that's a long story, man. That's a long story.
Yeah.
That's only one of my nicknames, so you know. Well, you know, we'll talk about that later on, Ramon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So you know, we definitely enjoyed this time talking today. We got less 10 minutes before we get off. We normally stay for 30 minutes and end up almost an hour. We got 10 minutes for an hour. We might as well stay an hour now. What you got on there? What that say?
Those are all my kids.
Oh, straight. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got to send that out to my son Jalen. My son Jalen sent this to me, man. I got to put that on there, dog. That was love right there. That was love. Yeah,
that's one we're gonna talk more. What I'm gonna do, like I said, this is my podcast, and Jake's got one as well. It was on screen, but
I know I don't see yours either.
Probably because I got this on home. There we go.
Oh,
all right. Yeah, I was popping up with the stuff. But we talk all the time, niece, and we'll love to have women. We'd love to have you on and let you come on and talk, and we give a mother's perspective. And most of the time, we talk about the guns and the violence. Most of the time, we trying to hype, talk about that part. We'll get you on here as well as a mother perspective and have your opinion. Let you see what's going on, because all I'm trying to do on this podcast and my brother's podcast is enlighten our youth and save them.
That's it.
Y'all know I've been doing this for 20 plus years, and I can't stop, won't stop.
Yes, indeed.
Until the message is heard, until the kids realize, that their life is worth saving, and that's what we're doing, and that's why I say most of the time the father needs to be there. If that third father there, no ma'am.
No.
But if the father, we talking about a father, somebody that Twan, you pick up the phone and call, and he pop up and say he handle the business. That's what I'm talking about. We're not talking about the young man that was your son's father.
Right.
Kudos to you 100%. But we watched you raise them too. Now you got a little knucklehead. Now, little daughter. She's how old is baby girl now? Tawana, if you on here. But she's raised both her two kids by herself. Single mom. They both got good jobs. They both graduated school. Straight A students. Yeah, I kudos you to that. Yeah. She is
1.5.
1.5. So, so she's raising that one.
Hey, boom! Let me get into on the business. I'm trying to figure out who's that other person on there.
What other person?
On the screen that you put on.
Who's that dude on the screen right there?
I don't know.
Let me see, can I blow it up? Can't see who that is. Who is that? Who is that, niece?
What she said?
Oh, that's her dad. That's your dad, isn't it? Isn't that your dad, Tawana? You know who it is? You know who it is, Jake?
uh,
Yeah,
yeah, it's my pops.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
Oh man.
Man,
That's Tawada, you got to realize those pictures are real small when they show it on the screen on
yeah,
there.
right. We
So
couldn't see it.
we can barely see it.
We thought you had a boot thing or something. We ain't seen
Yeah.
it. We wanted to try to make sure he
You right about our age, so we, hey, it's all good.
yeah. Facts, they're facts.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good, bro.
But
What's
yeah, we
up?
definitely gonna get you on so we can so we can have a conversation with a mom's perspective on some stuff that's going on. I'd love to have you on. I'll send you an invite the next time we get on. If I can have
Sure,
up
right.
I think 8 people on this podcast, so we can have a good little panel up here, and then we just get to talking. And have Mona, have everybody talking.
Yeah,
Get them. I will do that. That's a promise right there.
yeah.
The more, cause look, unlike other people, I need you to like and share my page. Like and share my page.
I don't care.
That song say, "I wanna be rich." Doom, 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 doom. I wanna be rich. Like and share my page. Go to my YouTube channel. Like and share, so I can start getting some checks in the mail. Cash move everything around me. Cream get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. I gotta get it. To you fathers out there that's doing your job, man,
get it.
keep up the good work, man. Keep up the good work. Ramon, keep up the good work, man.
Yeah.
Keep pounding on that wood. Keep knocking.
Yeah.
Keep knocking, man. You doing a phenomenal job. If fathers out there, you guys doing y'all thing, kudos. Moms out there doing their thing, they're taking the place of fathers, kudos. But you still, I say, need somebody along the way.
Pops.
To help reel your child up. I hear you, boom.
Pops.
All right, Ramon.
Pops.
So look, this has been an awesome podcast.
Pops.
I didn't think, Pops trip.
Either I'm Pops or I'm gonna pop you if you don't do what I tell you. So you hear me? I just want to say that.
Like the boy said, Pop go to Weasel.
Right.
Pop go to Weasel.
Weasel.
So we need the parents, in closing, love on your kids like y'all been there. If you're a parent on here, you been loving on your kids, love on them. Talk to them every day.
Yeah.
Make sure that everything's going right in their life. Make sure you listening to everything they say. Make sure you are following up on the stuff when you say I'm gonna check and see. Go check and see. One thing about a kid, they know when you're telling a story.
Mm-hmm.
Be truthful to them. If you can't do it, man, I can't do it. You can do it, do it. Be a man and a woman of your word. Because that's all we got in this world is your word. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that Tony Montana said, but I ain't gonna say that. But your word.
Yeah. And don't be ashamed to talk to them in a brash manner. Just tell them you out of your damn mind. Don't sit there and say, "Well, let me think about it," and then don't never say nothing. Just tell them straight up. Right. What are you thinking? You out of your damn mind? No, that's not gonna happen. No, right. Ain't nothing wrong with telling a child no.
Right.
Remember that.
Right.
Raising a parent, 99% of your answers is gonna be no. When you raising a child, not raising a parent, raising a child, it's gonna be 99%. It's gonna be no. Y'all that have these kids 1 to 2 years old, you know what I'm saying now, and that's gonna keep happening. You have to be able to say no as a parent. You have to be able to discipline as a parent. You have to be able to be there for a child, pay for a child, send a child to school, say goodbye when they go in somewhere, say welcome home. Good things, and not only bad things, but good things too. Make a child feel wanted, because I'm telling you, you're going to be like me and my brother. Every time we go see our mom, it's like, that's so happy feelings.
Yeah, buddy.
because that's who we know when we were growing up. Now, we had our dad there, but like I said, my dad, he found somebody else and he went with that person, but mom was still there. Mom still raised, she did an excellent job. Same as Tawana, Tawana, yeah, I guess you got that from our mama, your grandmama, because that's what she did. So, like we said before, women can do it, but at the same time, when my mom had a problem, yeah, Bertha did it too. But see, I don't see Bertha on here. That's why I'm saying Tawana.
Yeah.
But I know Bertha do it. Jamie had to do it because her husband was stationed overseas, or he was driving trucks. Jamie had to do it, So it's a lot of women that can do that stuff, and kudos to y'all. But all these women know that there's some women out there. One, they don't want to do it. Two, they refuse to do it. Three, they gonna let the man do it. And if the man is not responsible, he gonna do it in an irresponsible way. They give an irresponsible child. That gives the government irresponsible money to make irresponsible prison, to treat your child in an irresponsible way. And that's what's going to happen if you don't raise your child correctly. From the prison system, I'm telling you, to the ground. That's how it's going to go.
That's a t-shirt right there, boy.
What's that?
What you just said about irresponsible. That's a t-shirt.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen, boo.
T-shirt.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
That's facts. That's facts.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you talking about somebody that done seen an 18-year-old go to prison. I done seen a 16-year-old in a maximum security prison.
Yeah.
In solitary. In there crying 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
You ever seen a person cry to where they don't have no tears? It sounds like they're singing now. It's just that bad. So yeah, and y'all think about your child. Y'all close your eyes and think that your child is not there and they locked up in the prison. And do that for 5 minutes. But that child gonna be in there for 5 to 10 years, spending that type of time in prison.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want your child to go that way, go ahead. Handle your business, y'all. Be a Tawana. Be a Kenneth Tramp. What's your partner name, boo, you had on here?
Ramon King.
Be a Ramon King. Yeah. Go out there and handle your business and do what you got to do to raise your child correctly and watch him blossom.
He missed the handcuff and key. He missed the handcuff and key.
Yeah. Shoot, man, I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm loving the way I turned out.
Look, man, all I can say is that, we've come a long way.
If you only knew.
Long way.
Only knew.
I'm talking about long way. I think my first car was a 1977 something.
1977.
All right, K-Nan, how you doing, brother?
What's happening? TD?
That's Tyrone Dick. That's Tyrone.
Yeah, that's TD right there. TD.
And so we just got as parents and as men, step up.
Mm-hmm.
Step up. It's time to step up. It's just too much stuff going on in the community, too much stuff going on everywhere with these kids. We got to step up. And moms, if y'all join the battle too.
That's right.
It could be a mother and father collaboration, but we got to step up.
Yeah.
These kids are need of some structure, something. And I ain't talking about just throwing a basketball out there and letting them play.
No, not a video game. Not a video game.
Easy. We gotta do some things.
That's right. That's right.
Good afternoon, fella. Good afternoon there, Mr. Dickens.
Good afternoon.
We gotta step up, man. We gotta step up and do our thing.
Hey, brother, let me send this shout out before we get off here, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna start from Jackie on down. Jack, love you. Beautiful picture. Jacob, love you. Keep up the good work. Javante, hey, you got my man Javon. By the way, my grandson Javon has leukemia, and he's doing an excellent job. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's rolling. He's fighting, and we fighting there with him. Let me tell you something. He's not just fighting leukemia. The whole family's fighting leukemia. We all there with him, and we want to support him.
I'm cut his hair, didn't he?
Yeah. See, I cut mine too. Hold on. Look.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see that.
yeah,
See that.
yeah.
Absolutely.
We all rolling. We gonna keep it that way too. You hear me? Gonna keep it that way. And my youngest son, Jalen. Son, I love you. I'm with you. You know I'm always here. You need something. Don't hesitate to call me or your Uncle Boom Boom or your Uncle Chris or your Uncle Robert or your Auntie Jamie or your Auntie Bertha.
Mhm.
Okay? See how I just went through the whole list of our family members?
Right.
That's what everybody's supposed to have on reserve when they need somebody.
Right.
And we're not supposed to know all the time that our kids call them,
Right.
but we know those kids are for us.
Right.
Thank you, Raymond King. I appreciate that, brother.
Right.
Yeah, that's what they're for. So, hey, I just want to send that shout out. Boom. Love you. Love your kids. They doing a good job as well. Hey, man, let's just stay on top of it, brother.
Like the boy said, you need anything of any kind. But ain't Jalen.
Yeah.
Jalen.
Yeah.
I need that cash, y'all. Like
Yeah.
and share my podcast. Like and share my podcast. Don't worry about handcuff and keys, but shave and a haircut. Like and share it, guys. And in closing, so this is it. We've been on for an hour. Our closing say this. I always say, quit yelling at your kids at nighttime, expecting them to sleep well. Quit yelling at your kids in the morning time, expecting them to do well in the morning. Speak love, speak success, speak help, speak understanding. And at the end of the day, please listen to your kids. This has been Shake Man a Haircut. I'm your host, Kenneth Tramble. My brother, Handcuff and Keys, Jacob Tramble, signing off. We love you guys.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all the brothers. Happy Father's Day to the mothers that were fathers as well.
Yes.
Love you guys. Peace.
Peace.